But the other big news that hit the golfing world this week was absolutely like perfect timing in my eyes. I mean, no football. Fucking Jim Nance is back in the booth. You got Nick Faldo doing Nick Faldo things, and you've got just the buildup and the excitement of just drama. It looked like a fucking Jerry Springer episode down at Torrey, which was pretty interesting. They want to see the fire, Jeff, and the incident. If you guys aren't aware, go Google Patrick Reed, and you're going to be able to see the videos. He essentially made some questionable decisions out on the 10th green or in the 10th rough, and eventually, in my opinion, decided to take some relief after he claimed an embedded golf ball. After he fiddled around with the hole, called over the rules official, kind of yelled at a fucking volunteer, but ended up uprooting the golf media and pretty much just sports in general, Jeff. And the thing that was so intriguing and so interesting about this week is the first question I need to know. One, is Patrick Reed good for the game of golf?
Absolutely, he is. But I'm going to tell you why he's good for the game of golf. Because he's a cheater. It's a well documented thing. It's documented in the past. It's documented this last week. But you know what else? He is fucking really, really good. And when these type of things happen, he doesn't fold. He doesn't cave. He doesn't shy away and try to stay on the spotlight. He comes out and kicks everybody's ass. I mean, he won by 5 strokes. So it's the give and take, right? He's good and bad. He's probably more bad for the PGA Tour, but good for guys like us that want to cover this type of stuff.
Because content is fucking king, and we love content and we love the drama. I want to be able to get outraged and pissed off and have a guy to hate week in and week out. And Patrick Reed does that for me. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're absolutely right. He's an incredible golfer. He's got some unbelievable talents. He doesn't hit the ball real far. He doesn't hit his irons great, but the dude can get up and down from everywhere. And it seemed like on Saturday he got up and down from the 10th hole just fine because, he's out there doing his thing. I mean, Jeff, you saw the video, you saw the clips, you heard the coverage takes, you heard Brandel Chamblees and Nick Faldo and the ruling that was aired on the PGA Tour. I mean, initial reaction watching the video, is it a violation of what you deem against the rules?
So here's the thing, and here's kind of where I disagree with Brandel and those guys. They all want to call him a cheater right away because he touched his ball, he moved it, maybe he cleaned it off, all these things before calling a rules official, right? And to me, that's not the biggest deal here. Like, I think people are overlooking what he actually did, right? Because within the rules, he was kind of okay. I mean, he was just like what Rory did. But the thing to me is this. He says he didn't know it bounced, which he didn't, given the circumstances, right?
Sure.
We all do know that it bounced.
Yes.
And we know that a ball coming in that high, where it initially hits, yes, it's going to have a crater. It could plug. But when it bounces a foot in the air and then lands in some soft rough, it is not going to create another crater. There is no way. So where he's really the cheater is when he starts manipulating and telling the fucking rules official, yeah, it's embedded. Well, that's where you're lying, dude. It's obvious you're lying. We all saw it bounce. It didn't land in its own hole. I think Rory did the same fucking thing. There's no way Rory's ball went 1 foot in the air, landed somewhere else in the rough, and was embedded. There's no way, unless it landed in somebody else's pitch mark, which is highly fucking unlikely. Rory has a better reputation. He gets away with that type of shit. Patrick Reed does not. Patrick Reed also went in and decided to molest the hole that the fucking ball was in. But in the end, it's going to come down to his word, right? What does he feel? Was it stuck in there? Should he have? I think if he left it alone, called a rules official, there'd be no fucking question right here. It'd be done deal. He would have got his fucking drop. But like we talked about earlier, in the end, the PGA Tour is going to go back to this replay system like other sports, and we're going to have delays, and they're going to call offside people to make things right so that this doesn't happen again.
Jeff, I'm going to have to completely and utterly disagree with you. This fucking guy, I mean, there's wet conditions. Okay, the PGA Tour consistently does this day in and day out. If any chance of weather at all, they're playing the ball lift, clean, in place. They're playing ball in hand in the fairway. And sure enough, I think personally, Patrick Reed is out there specifically looking for embedded golf balls, trying to put himself in positions to overcome some volunteer who he, in my opinion, there's no player besides Patrick Reed, that before he gets to his golf ball is asking people around his golf ball if the thing bounced or not. So I think he had a predetermination and an opportunity to take advantage of the rules and or this volunteer who, by the way, is not getting paid. She actually paid to fucking be there. And it just frustrates me how he goes about it, specifically in this incident. And then yes, we can't see what's going on in that golf ball, but he is, like you said, he's molesting the hole. He's creating a crater. That's the only way. But here on the PGA Tour, it's like he's just getting away with it's like he's looking to get away with and taking advantage of not only the rules, but also the people that are volunteering out there.
He is. And maybe those people were too scared to speak up and say, no, I saw it bounce. But 100%, he's a cheater because there's no way. We all saw it bounce. We all watched the television coverage. There's no way it created its own fucking crater. There's no way it embedded after that. It hops. It loses its spin. It fucking sits down in the rough. Winter golf, everything sits down onto the mud. Doesn't matter if you're in the rough or the fairway. It's going to sit down at the bottom of the grass. That's a given. And then it's going to come down to integrity. It's going to come down to you being honest with what you feel, what you think, right? It's pretty easy to fucking decipher if a ball's embedded or not. You know, he pulled it out. He said it was. They've got to go with that. You know, they can't fucking come back and say, yeah, no, you're lying, fucking strokes. It is what it is. Like, here's the thing. He's a fucking cheater. But
it's when they asked him after the round and showed him the video, he even said, like, there's no way that golf ball would have embedded after a bounce. I mean, the right thing to do at that moment in time is to assess yourself a 2-stroke penalty. That's what you do. That's what an honorable golfer does. You don't just go, oh shit, you know, I thought it was this way. Okay, I'm just going to take advantage of the rules. You saw the replay. You had the opportunity to correct the mistake. You're playing unbelievable golf. Just fucking take this 2-stroke penalty and take your medicine and know that you have this reputation. That obviously would have been the better route.